You know, I remember when I first answered Boethiah's call. It always happens when you least expect it. Thanks, idiot.
You sacrifice your friend at my altar. This is not a request.
Okay, I guess we're doing Boethiah's calling today. Greetings, travelers. It is so good to be back. I hope you're having a great morning star and an even better 2025 so far. In today's story, we will be discussing Boethiah's Calling, the Daedric quest associated with Boethiah, the Daedric prince of cruelty and torture, and the long-feared ebony mail armor that poisons enemies who get too close and turns the wearer black as the void when crouching. In order to start this quest, upon reaching level 30, the book Boethiah's Proving will begin to spawn in various locations. Some notable places being the abandoned house in Markarth where the House of Horrors quest takes place, found on cultists of Boethia during random encounters, inside of Hobbs Fall Cave, inside of Septimus Cygnus's outpost, inside the Black Book Untold Legends, and finally it can occasionally be found on Seekers in Apocrypha. Something else I felt was worthy of mentioning is that while most people usually wouldn't even blink twice at this book, it actually delves into the lore a little bit and gives us a brief description of Boethiah's appearance. She came arrayed in ebony darker than a moonless night, wielding a blade hotter than the surface of the sun, and though she wore the guise of a Dunmer warrior queen, she towered above them like a statue carved from the Red Mountain itself. It then goes on to tell a story of how 5 cultists summoned Boethia and she immediately killed 3 of them without even lifting a finger. The first victim died from Boethiah's sigh of disappointment that wiped him from history. For her second victim, she simply clapped her hands and he too was gone. And for her third victim, she blinked twice. Once, he was in agony. Twice, he was destroyed. And only upon asking her second to last remaining follower,
Of all my believers, but 2 remain. Tell me, second to last, with what shall you prove your existence?
the fourth cultist then drew his sword and plunged it into the chest of the final cultist and fearlessly replied, "Ask him whose blood now sprouts from my blade if I exist." To which Boethia is pleased, with the sacrifice of myrrh being the only acceptable form of offering. And we come to find out the author of this book is that lone cultist who managed to please the angry and hateful Boethia. The author then calls the reader, basically saying, hey, if you're feeling some type of way after reading that, then come hit up the Saccharum sometime because Boethia wants to hit you up. And while finding this book and reading it is a typical way a traveler might answer Boethia's call, this step can easily be skipped by traveling to the Saccharum of Boethia southeast of Windhelm as soon as you surpass level 30. So that's what I did. I put my boots on, started climbing up the mountain that leads to the Saccharum, and I swear the most cursed stuff happens when I do these Daedric quests on this profile. Because as I'm climbing this mountain, I find myself in a bit of an avalanche. But this avalanche is literally just skeleton feet. Only the feet. No other body part. Do you ever feel like a human foot rolling down a hill, wanting to feel again? So I get to the top of the hill and I'm immediately met by a priestess of Boethia who starts asking me if I'm here to test my mettle against the followers of Boethia. Upon asking who Boethia is, the priestess just starts rapid firing all of her gamer tags.
The Lord of Plots, Deceiver of Nations, Devourer of Trinomac, the Queen of Shadows, Goddess of Destruction,
Beastmaster 64.
But according to this priestess, names mean nothing to Boethia. They are for us to identify her, and that's pretty much it. And the lack of value in names for Boethia will come into play later. And alongside the fact that names are of no value to her, the true value in a mortal falls in their purpose in life. Boethia only cares for those who care for themselves, whose hearts are full of purpose and whose lives are full of deeds. If you are an ambitious person who wants nothing more than to conquer and betray, Boethia is the Daedric prince for you. So I tell this priestess, I know you don't know me, but I'm a bit of a collector and I don't even let the elderly stand in my way from what I want. This is Logrowth the Willful.
Milk drinker.
And it's at this point that he allows me to take the rusty axe off the altar and send Logrowth on vacation. See that? So what do I have to do?
prove your tongue can wield a lie. Find someone, gain his trust, lead him to
Get the fuck out of here!
So my current mission is to find someone who will follow me to the shrine so that I may sacrifice them for Boethia's attention. The priestess gives me a sacrificial blade, smacks me on my big red ass, and sends me on my way. Time to find someone to sacrifice. Okay. So here's the thing, I'm extremely disappointed because for this video, I've been so excited for the idea of using cheats to make Nazim a follower and sacrifice him at the altar. I tried and tried and tried, but none of the cheats were working. He refused to become a follower. And as I stood there in the Whiterun market, I was absolutely at a loss for who was worthy of being a martyr to Boethia. I couldn't think of anybody else in the world of Skyrim whose voice I just frown at the sound of. And then...
Let's not waste any time.
And there it is, friends. The ugly truth. Not gonna lie, I feel really bad about this because Heimskr is just a really driven and outspoken dude. But don't worry, things happen later on that make me feel like absolute cow shit. So after I sacrifice Heimskr, the one-man army of Talos worship, his corpse immediately hits the self-revive and is now possessed by the Daedric Prince Boethia.
Ugh. Wearing flesh is so distasteful.
Among Us!
So Boethia tells me that catching her attention was unwise and she starts asking questions.
Why have you slain this one who trusted you here upon my shrine?
Boethia tells everyone at her shrine to go down to the fighting pit, stating she is in need of a ruthless, cunning warrior and we all gotta fight to the death, last man standing style.
I have a special task for whichever of you is left standing.
So now it's time for some honesty. I haven't really played Skyrim in a long time, and on top of that, I have the brutality mod that makes combat significantly more brutal. I died a lot this part. It was also bedtime and I had work at 5 a.m. the next day. So I improvised. I tried to use the ritual stone to bring back everyone who had already died in my favor, but oddly enough, the ritual stone wasn't working during this quest. You win this one, Bethesda. So I just kind of cheesed it. I let everyone else fight each other and picked off the last two standing. Once I killed the last cultist, Boethia reanimates her body to tell me I did a good job.
Well done.
She honestly must not have been watching because I didn't really do shit. So now Boethia tells me she has one final task for me.
Are you able to cast aside your honor and strike with the hidden blade?
You mean like this kind of hidden blade? Am I still talking about the right franchise here? Boethia is now basically telling me she has a champion who has served his purpose and is now playing God with a bunch of bandits at Knife Point Ridge. And she wants me to, stealthily, kill him and all his friends so he doesn't even have the chance to defend his honor in battle to the death. So I'm heading towards Knife Point Ridge now, and on the way, I took the absolute hardest gut punch Skyrim has ever given me. I was just no-clip sprinting to Knife Point Ridge because I hadn't unlocked it yet, and while I was doing that, I had a visitor.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. I've got a letter and a lot of gold. Something about it being your, inheritance. Oh, and sorry for your loss.
Heimskr left me a fucking inheritance. After I sacrificed him to a Daedric prince and defiled his soul in front of Talos, the most important being in his life. He left me gold either because I'm distantly related to him, or he just wanted to bless a stranger who was trying to do big things. And I don't know which one is worse. But unfortunately, what's done is done, and I can't bring him back. So onward we push to Knife Point Ridge. Now, I want you guys to know I really tried. I tried to be stealthy, but I don't have any perks in sneak or bow because I'm trying to avoid it. I don't want to always be the stealth archer every playthrough because we all know how broken it is. It didn't work very well with my big-ass two-handed battle axe wielding Nord, so I cheated. I promise this isn't gonna be a reoccurring thing. I'll keep doing things by the book, but for this specific quest, I was tired and irritated, so here's a little montage of this stealth assassination. Now that's a stealth mission done right. I've earned Boethiah's respect and a spot where my name can go upon the tablet of absolute darkness. Whatever the hell that means. It's like when a scene girl adds you to her top 8 on MySpace. If you didn't get that joke, look up at your TV. Bluey's probably about to come back on. And just like that, Boethiah's Calling is complete. Another piece of armor for the gallery and lots more to go. Give me a in the comments so I know you made it this far. If you enjoyed, please consider showing some love in whatever way you feel necessary. Tell someone you love them, watch the skies, and I will speak with all of you again real soon.